Hi everyone. I'd like to start by saying what a beautiful day it has been today, and I'd like to take a minute to say so everyone can appreciate how much time and effort the bride and groom, mostly the bride, have put into making this whole weekend fantastic with so many special touches. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steve, and I've been given the great honour of being the best man today. And before I get into the speech and start sharing some secrets that you may not be aware of, I'd like to say how honoured I am that Ginga has bestowed upon me the role of best man. It really does mean a lot. And I'd like to say in front of everyone just how much I love you and respect you. So on to the fun part. There comes a time in everyone's life when they meet the one true love. The person they know they're going to spend the rest of their life with, share the best moments with, and grow old together. For Ging, that was 24 years ago when he met me. Usually when I come to these events, dressed all dapper, I'm usually the best one in the room, best looking. But today I've been slightly upstaged by our beautiful bride, Jo. So there are lots of funny stories that I could share with you today, but I did promise I wouldn't share some. Like the time me and Ginga got arrested for shooting someone. The time Ginga had a house party when his parents went away. The time he got refused entry into Canada. And even most recently, the time he lost his wedding ring 2 weeks after the UK wedding. But I did promise I wouldn't share them, so. There is one story that I can share with you though, and it pretty much sums up our relationship and the fun times that we have together. When we were younger, myself and Ginga spent a whole day up London, dressed up in fancy dress, for no apparent reason, other than to just make ourselves look bigger idiots than what we actually were. But actually, come to think of it, I can't really remember what happened. There really has been some high moments in our life. However, the test of a true friendship is when times get tough. And for me, Ginga has been the one constant in my life who's been there to support me through everything. He's been a rock and a constant ball of energy and laughs, sometimes very inappropriate times. I'm sure we've all witnessed that. However, I lost two of the closest people in my life early on, and he's always been there for me, so I thank you for that. But the one biggest time that I do need to share with everyone, where he stood side by side with me in true adversity, was the time we both got suspended from school. I got pulled up in front of the class and suspended because I wouldn't put my blazer on on a really hot day. And just like a scene out of Spartacus, Ginga stood up, threw his blazer on the floor, and proceeded to say, if you're going to suspend him, you're going to have to suspend him. And so they did. And so they did. Both in isolation for a week. The first time I met Jo, we all went up and saw a film together in Basildon Cinema called Sausage Party. For those of you who haven't seen the film, you can probably guess from the title that it's not really a film you take someone out to make new friends with. Jo must definitely have left that place thinking, what sort of friends are these? And what on earth do they get up to? but luckily enough she stuck around. It's been amazing to get to know you over the last few years, Joe, and see how good you have been to my main man. You've made him a very driven person, dedicated and concentrated on achieving goals, which he has done. Trust me, if you knew the Ginger that I went to school with, you wouldn't believe I'll be the one up here with the less degrees. But I want to thank you, Joe. You really have made him into a new and improved version of himself, but not changed him in any way. Joe, you and your family are such beautiful people, and you've welcomed myself and Laura into your family home on numerous occasions, usually centred around alcohol. But you have welcomed us many times, and you're all great human beings, and I'm glad to have been able to share a lot of good times with you. I'd like to take a moment to concentrate on one special individual who can't be here today in person, but I can assure you he is here in spirit and definitely celebrating with a heavenly start line. To have met and shared time with Richard was an honour. And I'd like to just give a little brief story, just to sort of sum up what sort of person Richard was, but also sums up a bit of mine and Ginger's relationship. I remember Richard invited me over to watch the boxing with Ginger, Thomas and himself. And when I turned up, there was a space on the sofa for me, a cold beer waiting and the boxing all ready to go on the TV. And Ginger was passed out in the corner. So can we just take this moment to raise a glass to Richard? Richard. I can't drink it because I'm still nervous. So it's time for me to wrap this speech up and for us to all get ready and go and party the night away. So from what started as two people swiping right on Tinder, one guy turning up half hour late, one lady half a bottle of wine down, to what can only be described as a beautiful wedding, a lovely relationship. I'd personally like to speak on behalf of everyone here today and wishing you the happiest of lives together and creating so many more memories together and creating a lovely family together. So can we all raise our glass to handsome Andy